This is ABC 7 News at 6. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis.
And I'm Haley Wilgus. Thank you for joining us. The final chapter in the shocking Inglewood child abuse case came to an end today.
Ashley Cole sentenced for her part in the death of a 6-year-old boy who died after he was smothered. ABC 7's Bobeth Yates joins us now with details on today's court proceedings. Bobeth?
Yes, earlier this year, 6-year-old Jimmy Dearman's death was officially ruled a homicide by asphyxiation. Now, both Jimmy's dad and the father's girlfriend will spend more than a decade behind bars.
At least she had a childhood. Jimmy will never have any childhood. It's over.
Ashley Cole breaks down as the prosecution details the horrific actions that resulted in the death of her boyfriend's 6-year-old son.
She's the one who called him over. She's the one who sits on him initially. She hears, "I can't breathe." She hears Jimmy say, "I can't breathe," for a total of 4 separate occasions.
According to police reports, Cole and her boyfriend, 31-year-old James Dearman, were playing video games last Christmas Eve when Jimmy and his sister began making too much noise. Both kids were told to put their nose on the wall as punishment. But when Jimmy apparently didn't follow instructions, Cole called him over to the couch, put his face into the cushion, and sat on his back.
He's pinching, he's scratching, he's fighting for his life, and the defendant is doing nothing other than adding to his mental anguish and killing him.
After Cole, who is roughly 220 pounds, sat on the 45-pound child for a few minutes, she got up and Jimmy's dad, a 279-pound man, took over. And when Jimmy refused to stop yelling, Cole sat on his back while Dearman sat on his shoulder as they both continued to play video games. Last month, Dearman was sentenced to 20 years in prison with 10 years probation, but Cole's attorney argued that she deserved a lesser sentence, and the judge agreed.
From a very young age, you suffered from multiple mental illnesses. You've been diagnosed, received therapy both by psychiatrists and psychologists, medication which you took up until it sounds like recently in your life. And this is something that I take into consideration.
Cole was sentenced to 13 years in prison, followed by 5 years probation. But before hearing those words, she made a plea to the judge.
I don't know how to put in words how remorseful I am. I just want to do better.
Now, as part of her probation, Cole will have to undergo mental health and drug evaluations, as well as serve 16 weeks of anger management. Back to you.
Bobeth, thank you. Troopers say a 10-year-old girl who was hit by an SUV last night on Siesta Key is expected to recover. Troopers say the girl was walking with her mother in Siesta Village when she was hit by a Jeep. She was flown to a hospital in St. Petersburg for treatment. Troopers say she's being treated for non-life-threatening injuries. There's no word yet on whether the driver will face any charges.
And we're following a developing story near Tuttle Avenue and 25th Street in Sarasota, where a 7-year-old was hit by a truck late this afternoon. The child was transported by ambulance to Sarasota Memorial Hospital. FHP says he injured his or her head and knee, but those injuries are not life-threatening. The circumstances of this crash are not known right now. Demolition is now underway at the Colony Resort on Longboat Key. It's been closed for 6 years and is considered uninhabitable. But Orlando-based developer Unicorp plans to turn it into a 5-star resort with 360 condos and hotel rooms. The developer is hoping to break ground in 2 years and open on New Year's Eve 2020. This current demolition is only for the commercial aspects of the property. Unicorp is still needing to get signatures from condo owners before moving forward.
The next phase of a beach renourishment project on Longboat Key will get underway shortly. Crews will be repairing the beaches of Longboat Key near New Pass and Longboat Pass. About 200,000 cubic yards of sand will be dredged from New Pass to fix nearly a mile of the beaches at the southern tip of the island for the next month. Then dredging of 220,000 cubic yards will begin next month at Longboat Pass to repair more than a half mile of beaches at the northern tip.
We have lost over 100 feet of beach. Not only the width of the beach, but the height of the beach, and that is what provides storm protection. So it's imperative that we restore its beaches.
The first phase of the project, where dump trucks brought in sand, finished 2 months ahead of schedule. The entire project should be finished by mid-October. It will also make New Pass navigable again to boaters. That's according to the Coast Guard, because right now they say it's not. because of that shoal.
Yes, and it's hard to get through these projects and to see all that construction equipment on the beach, but the end result is so nice.
It is, yeah. And still some storms around the area. Let's get the latest on that from Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan. Bob?
Yeah, the first round is through, and out in the Gulf of Mexico, continuing to move off to the west, really firing up. That sea breeze pinned right near the coast due to the strong east to southeasterly wind flow today. Another round of showers, though, has developed behind it. This one now moving into Lakewood Ranch. You can see that large area of rainfall just to the west of Hidden River and just over now Lakewood Ranch, pushing toward the west-northwest at around 15 to 20 miles an hour. So it's moving at a pretty good clip. Some of the cities that will be impacted, obviously Lakewood Ranch already getting the rainfall, but some heavy lightning headed in that direction near, again, Town Center. And then at around 624, Foxley and also Elwood Park will get the showers and storms. Now you can see Northport near I-275 and Toledo Blade, we're getting some rainfall there. This is starting to increase in intensity too. So folks in Port Charlotte and Punta Gorda, look out. One lone cell there just on the north end of Siesta Key, approaching that area. 88 degrees right now. Heat index still high at 94. The high today tied a record 96 degrees today. More on our forecast in a few minutes. Back to you.
Thank you, Bob. In the fight against Zika, state officials are now enlisting commercial pest control companies in hopes of stopping mosquitoes from spreading the virus in South Florida. Governor Rick Scott says health officials will send additional pest control companies to Miami-Dade County to help mosquito control operations there. 30 people in Florida are believed to have been infected by the virus through mosquito bites. Scott says Florida's Department of Health believes active transmissions are still limited to a zone encompassing Miami's Wynwood neighborhood.
Early voting for the August 30th primary election will begin in Sarasota and Manatee counties this Saturday. But in other counties across the state, voters are already casting ballots. Early voting is mandated from August 20th through the 27th, but local supervisors of elections can decide to begin sooner.
You got 2 weeks of early voting. You got the mail-in ballots now. They used to be called absentees, but now you don't have to have a reason to request them. And then plus the polls are open on election day, so you got 3 ways and over 2 weeks to get it voted.
Nearly 600,000 voters have already returned completed vote-by-mail ballots. Easy way to get it done. A strong interest in the Suncoast art scene. Straight ahead, what one local art center is doing to meet the growing demand.
And later in our series, a place we call home, we explore Southside Village.
ABC 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
They took that stress and that tension when I was particularly feeling very bad after that nasty car accident, and it was such a relief to know that I didn't have to bear that burden alone, that I had help.
Our goal is to not just get a satisfactory settlement on their case. We want them up on their feet, happy again. They've gotten their life back.
Come uncork your inner artist at Painting with a Twist. Bring your favorite bottle of wine and appetizers and enjoy an evening out with friends to celebrate any special occasion. It's perfect for a girls' night out, birthday parties, or a fun date night. Painting with a Twist offers 2 or 3 hour classes that are instructed by local artists, and there is no experience required. We now have 2 convenient locations in Sarasota and Bradenton. Visit our website to view our calendar and schedule your next party today.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, AND services.com.
Welcome to the all-new Seymour Buick GMC on the island of Venice.
Seymour smiles.
Seymour selection of quality new and pre-owned vehicles.
Seymour for your trade-in.
Seymour savings.
Step up to GMC and get cash back for up to 12% of the MSRP on these select 2016 GMC vehicles. That's over $9,300 cash back on this Yukon.
Seymour now at Seymour Buick GMC on the island of Venice. Go to SeymourBuickGMC.com.
The Venice Art Center is about to see a major expansion. The center currently has several thousand art students, far too many for them to handle, and they've had to start turning people away.
That's about to change. ABC 7's Christopher Brantley is joining us live tonight from outside this art center. Christopher?
Scott and Haley, this is the area that is soon to become 2 brand new classrooms. Enough space to add at least 100 new art classes every year and students to match. Carol Sikora is one of thousands of people who take art classes here at the Venice Art Center and can't wait to see a new building added.
I think a lot of people retire and there are things that they've wanted to do that they haven't had an opportunity to do in their life, and they want to come down and start.
Sikora isn't retired. In fact, she started working for the Art Center, and now she's both a student and staff member.
We've had to turn people away because the classes have been full, especially this past season. It seems every year we grow bigger and bigger, so we really have a demand for the space.
For those lucky enough to get in, the art on the walls of the gallery tell their stories, especially those who thought they'd never make it.
Some people have started painting here for the first time and end up having shows and putting things in different galleries for display.
Paul McCullough is the president of the Art Center Board. He tells us they've doubled in class size over the last 4 years, and to meet that demand, they're adding 2 new classrooms here on what is now a part of the parking lot.
The expanded building is going to incorporate 1,800 square feet. It's going to have 1 bathroom, and it's going to have 2 large classrooms.
The new classrooms are expected to hold a number of multi-use art classes for people both young and old. The price tag? $240,000. But the center is getting some help, $50,000 in grants from the Maurice Selby Foundation. Students taking classes do pay, although most of that money goes to paying for instructors, and some of it is being directed here. The rest of the tab they hope to fill from fundraising donations.
This is going to be the beginning of a permanent effort to increase and maintain our fundraising efforts.
Art Center officials say they have hired a contractor. All of the permits have been achieved, and at this point, they're really just waiting to set a date to break ground. Live in Venice, Christopher Brantley, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Christopher.
I can see why it's so popular.
Yeah,
me too. People got some free time. Let's learn how to paint.
Develop your artistic skills.
Yep. Your forecast is coming up. Stay with us.
I'm Alan Cohn. Red light cameras in Bradenton. Should they stay or should they go? Find out what city council members are saying about the choice.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
We've been slow smoking over oak for more than 45 years. And while sticking to tried and true traditions is kind of our thing, it doesn't hurt to throw something new in the smoker every now and then. Come get some slow smoked chicken wings at Sonny's Barbecue. Order them as an appetizer or as part of a combo with pork, baby back ribs, or both, starting at $10.99. Sonny's Barbecue, local pitmasters since '68.
Whether you're a homeowner looking for a professional installation or a contractor looking for top quality products, Sarasota Glass and Mirror can meet your every need.
For 42 years, Sarasota Glass and Mirror has been the area's premier supplier and installer of quality glass products for your home or business. As an authorized PGT WinGuard dealer, we know how to protect your home with everything from the PGT WinGuard impact-resistant windows and doors to shower enclosures and decorative mirrors. The Sarasota Glass and Mirror team has the knowledge to tackle any project.
Do you have what it takes to become a champion? The Sarasota YMCA Shark Swim Team has been developing champions since 1961. Fall swim team tryouts for kids ages 6 through 18 are being held August 15th through the 18th and August 22nd to the 25th from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. Tryouts are held at the Evelyn Sadler Jones Branch, YMCA's Selby Aquatic Center. For more information, Visit SarasotaYMCA.org. Sharks.
Has chronic knee pain, arthritis, or osteoarthritis of the knee robbed you of your mobility? Would you like your pain-free life back again? Then call now. You may qualify for a new non-surgical, drug-free treatment for knee pain. Even if you've tried other treatments with little or no relief, you may still be a candidate for our Advanced Arthritis Relief Protocol. This emerging treatment is covered by most insurance, including Medicare. Suffer no longer. Call right now and get your mobility back.
Temperatures are rising, and the deals are hotter than ever during the summer clearance event at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Get the all-new Chrysler Pacifica for just $26,999 and get an additional $1,000 off with a trade-in. Hurry! Time is running out to get the new Dodge Journey for just $15,999. And right now, get up to $10,000 off a new Ram Crew Cab. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
Bob, we heard the thunder right as the show was getting ready to start.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
And another round of storms moving in. A couple of, they're moving quickly, though. That's a good thing. So they're not going to stick around very long, and it'll produce some moderate to heavy rainfall and some lightning. Dangerous lightning, as always. Not like the severe storms we saw over the weekend, but we will get some very heavy rainfall, looks like. Lakewood Ranch webcam, you'll see the first round comes through around 4. Wasn't much to that because most of the rain developed once it moved on through. And now the second round is setting in, and it is heavy. As I mentioned to a photo from that earlier round showing Holmes Beach. Drew sending this one in as a little bit of sun ray coming through the break in the storminess as it moved out into the Gulf of Mexico. So we had one round move through and then another actually moving through after a little bit break in terms of our rainfall. You can see not much at all going on along the East Coast. Most of it along the West Coast, pushing off to the west and really firing up once it moved into the Gulf. And that's a result of that sea breeze that never really got much further than I-75. It stayed pretty much right here. Normally it gets way into the inland areas, and the storms build here, producing a lot more rainfall, and then move off to the west. But now that second round is developing. I mentioned Lakewood Ranch. We're also getting it at Fruitville, all the way down to Bee Ridge now. Some very heavy rainfall, and even Northport. That cluster of showers starting to develop a little bit more. So it has crossed the I-75 corridor there and continues to move off to the west, northwest at around 15 to 20 miles an hour. Some times for the actual beginning of the heavy rainfall for Woodfield Estates right around 6:34. Bayshore Gardens a little bit later than that, and near Southgate just in a few minutes from now. So get ready for some very heavy rainfall right there with the occasional lightning strikes. This is just kind of flared up. So Northport, Port Charlotte, places to the west. This will expand in coverage, I believe, and eventually clip parts of Venice, Englewood, and maybe as far north as Nokomis. What's happened is that area of low pressure that produced that catastrophic flooding over Louisiana has been absorbed by a cold front. There's still an area of low pressure there, but not nearly as concentrated, and it's really not grabbing that moisture in from the Gulf any longer. We have had that strong easterly wind here, still high pressure at the surface just off the Carolina coast, which will provide us with that east to northeast wind. And you can see a little bit of a sea breeze has developed near the airport. 88 degrees now. Just about an hour ago, it was 96 degrees, and that was the high today. That tied the old mark of 1990 when it topped out at 96. Our average high at 90, and this morning's low was at 79 degrees. No rainfall at 5 o'clock up to that point, but they did get a brief shower just about an hour ago. 90 degrees in Jacksonville. It's 87 in Orlando. 88 degrees now in Miami. The temperature's cooler somewhat in Arcadia, where it did rain a little bit. And Lakewood Ranch, although 90 now, they're cooling down as that rain is falling. So they'll be down into the low 80s here before long, if not already. With this front still to the west of us, that high pressure is going to dominate the weather off the Carolina coast, which will keep us in that afternoon and evening storm period. Well, the Atlantic's starting to get a little bit more active, and long-range models indicating that this particular model has a good chance of developing in the next 5 days. So even if it were to develop, it appears it will head off to the open waters of the Atlantic. These are the storms that we really like to see as they move into the open waters of the Atlantic. There are a couple of more waves, though, coming off the coast of Africa, and models are indicating that those will develop as well into tropical systems down the road. So we'll keep an eye on it. Right now, far away from us. This is an upper level low. Look at all this dry air, too. This is the dust that's coming off the deserts of Africa, and that's really inhibiting any kind of development nearby. So we don't anticipate any tropical development here. for some time. East winds turn to the north at 5 to 10 knots tomorrow. Seas running right around 2 feet. There'll be a light chop on the bays and inland waters. The water temperature now at 87 degrees and a UV index at 9. Tides upcoming, low tide at 6:53 in just a few minutes from now, and sunset at 8:07 tonight. Scattered storms continuing here for the next hour, then partly cloudy. Tomorrow, rain chance late in the day, 60%, a high of 92, and the extended forecast calling for less of a chance for rain, but still there on Friday and Saturday. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. Teachers in Sarasota County are settling into their classrooms this week, getting ready for the first day of school just 1 week from today. And one of Sarasota County's oldest schools, Fruitville Elementary, now has a modern addition, which will give some of its students a better learning atmosphere. Special needs students at the school now have a new 30,000 square foot, 18 classroom building that was recently completed. One teacher says the new furniture and equipment there will be helpful for the school's autism students.
The furniture can easily be moved and reconfigured. That's not something we had prior. In trying to instruct them and work with their individual needs, I think that's going to help the instruction.
Other new additions on the Fruitville campus include improvements to the school's parking lot and a covered play area for students.
Hi, I'm Linda Carson. Coming up, we'll take you on a tour through Southside Village and tell you why it's a great place to call home.
It's Lincoln's summer sales event here at Alex Karras Lincoln. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKZ for only $299 per month, or a 2016 Lincoln MKX, Lincoln's premium sports utility vehicle, for $339 per month. We also have a great selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. Drive with the confidence of a 6-year, 100,000-mile comprehensive warranty and complimentary roadside assistance. Alex Karras Lincoln, family owned and operated, and winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award. We are located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41. Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Just because someone grows older, does that mean they have to grow apart from their friends or from the things they love to do? With Right at Home, it doesn't. Right at Home's professional team thoughtfully selects caregivers to help with personal care, housekeeping, meals, and most of all, staying engaged in life.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Are you ready to go?
Oh, I sure am.
We can provide the right care right at home.
The kitchen is where life happens. Minnesota Flooring now offers a wide variety of beautiful quality craft-made cabinetry to make sure the heart of your home reflects your style. Visit us today.
At Sunset Subaru in Sarasota, we make sure you get the most for your money. More years, more miles, and when you're ready to sell, you'll get more money back. Come fall in love with the longest-lasting vehicle in its class, the Subaru Outback. Or lease a new 2017 Subaru Forester for just $209 a month. Or get 0% financing right now during the Subaru A Lot to Love event. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Each community on the Suncoast has its own unique personality.
ABC 7's Linda Carson takes us to Sarasota's Southside Village in our series, A Place We Call Home. Linda.
Southside Village is a charming community of nice restaurants and shops, lovely homes, and Sarasota's premier gourmet market. A great place to call home since the 1920s. Sarasota Memorial Hospital was built in 1925. In 1927, Slee's grocery store was built nearby.
It was a wooden building on the corner of Hillview and Osprey. And then the Marable family, Eddie and Ethel Marable, bought it from him in 1941. And then in 1950, they built the foundation that we're standing on today.
Other stores soon sprung up.
The drugstore was built. We had Across the street we had a bakery and a hardware store, a dress shop. We had a Sargent's TV, we had a plumbing store. And over where they opened Veronica's, there was our Ben Franklin 5 and 10 store.
The Morton family arrived in 1951.
My dad went to work here with Mr. Marable and Mrs. Marable back in 1952. And then he and I bought the store after I graduated from college in 1969. So he worked for the Marable family for 17 years prior to us buying the market.
Morton's Gourmet Market opened in 1969. Sarah Massey remembers going there when she was a student at Southside Elementary School.
We could walk up to Morton's, but at that time we actually had a little account that you would just come in and purchase your sandwich or your lunch and sign off on your account and walk home.
Many homes in Southside Village are very close to the stores and restaurants.
It's a selling point for a lot of the homes in the Harbor Acres, Cherokee Park, Palm Park area. And it's the Southside School, especially all the young families. Southside School is such a good elementary school that they want to live close to the school, they want to live close to the hospital and the doctors.
This is definitely an upscale real estate area.
There are lots that are with tear down homes in here that are $500,000. So that's kind of I would say probably the entry point for the neighborhood, and you might even still have to tear a home down after that.
Southside Village even has its own newspaper.
It's their free private monthly neighborhood magazine that they write themselves.
She says the goal is to get neighbors to know each other and to appreciate what a great place this is to call home.
It's walkable, it's friendly, there are plenty of things to do, places to get to very easily, such as the beach and downtown area.
Southside Village also hosts many events. It's been home to lots of block parties, from the annual Giving Hunger the Blues to the Firefighters Chili Cook-Offs, which, Bob, I know you've been at every one of them.
Yes,
always getting bigger and bigger, too. They have it again this year.
Love that area.
Yep.
Love that chili. Yeah. Thanks for joining us. World News Tonight is next.
Have a great evening. We'll see you at 11.